So you want to be a content creator? Let's talk gear. The number one thing that you're gonna need if you want to be a content creator is a cell phone. It's really this simple. I would say about 90% of the content that I shoot and post comes from my phone. I did just upgrade to the top of the line iPhone, mostly because I need the storage because I'm constantly shooting video. But honestly, any phone will work. Android, lesser iPhones, like it really doesn't matter. You just need something that you can carry with you so that you're ready to point and shoot whenever you need it. My second most used item is a tripod. I love this tripod because as you can see, it folds up really compact, which is great for traveling. I can throw it in a purse. When you're ready to use it, you just pop the button at the bottom, folds out. For reference, I am 5'8", and this thing is basically as tall as me. The other reason I love this tripod is because it comes with this little remote, which I can pair to my phone, and then I can snap photos from a distance, which is super useful. For the everyday content creator, this is probably the third thing you want. This is just a light that you can attach to your phone, turn it on, and you get amazing lighting. If you've seen content creators and you're like, why do their videos look so much better than mine? This is why. Keep in mind, I'm filming on a nice camera and the lighting in this room is nice, so the picture already looks good. But when I add this light, can you see how much more glowy and dewy my skin looks? Especially in low light situations, this will save you. My next most used piece of gear is the camera I am filming on. Okay, switched you over to my phone so I can show you the camera. This is the Sony a7C. I used to have a Canon 6D Mark II, which I loved, but it was so heavy. Packing it and taking on trips was such a hassle that I truly would like put it in the bag and never bring it with me because it would give me back pain. Like carrying it around all day just hurt my back and my neck, so it just wasn't worth it. So I made the decision to switch to this mirrorless Sony, and I have not looked back since. This is Sony's intro mirrorless camera, so spec-wise, it's not necessarily like top of the line, but I think for the price, the quality that you're getting is amazing. Part of the reason that I love this camera so much is because I can flip out the screen, and so when I'm vlogging, I can see myself. Like I can see exactly what you are gonna see, which is just helpful. It's just nice to know that you're in camera, that the lighting's good, all of those things. I do have 3 lenses for this camera. I will say 99% of the time, I am using the kit lens, which shocked me. Historically, I have always loved prime lenses, so this is an 85mm. I have always just found like the bokeh, the blur in the background is so much nicer when you have a prime lens, and that might still be true, but because I'm shooting video and vlogging, having the ability to zoom in on such a small, lightweight lens, to me, like, this does just as good a job, so I keep it on there. Mirrorless is way more lightweight than DSLR, so even this, like, I still pack it on trips, I put it in my bag, it's not a big deal to take it with me, but the kit lens just does everything I need it to. This is a 28-60, the f-stop only goes down to 4, which if you know anything about cameras, you want a lower f-stop so that you have more of that dreamy, creamy bokeh background, but again, like I said, this does 99% of things I need it to do, and when I need something in lower light situations, I'll grab my 85 because this one does go down to, I think, 1.4. Now, if you're looking to dabble in more cinematic videography, I would highly recommend getting a drone. Right now, I have the DJI Mini 4 Pro. The last drone I had, I loved as well, but it was just a little bit bigger and it was way heavier, and so I had a hard time bringing it with me because it was just kind of a hassle to pack. So this thing is nice because it is so light and it folds up so compactly. Even the remote, like packing this when I travel, no trouble at all. I love using my drone to capture myself in motion, so I actually film 100% of the content I make myself. So I'm setting up a tripod, I'm filming, I'm moving the tripod, like nobody is holding the camera filming me. So the drone is great because it really gives a feel of like someone is filming me, and so it just tracks as I move, which really adds a nice cinematic feel. The drone is also great when I'm traveling, if I want to capture the scenic view around me, if I'm trying to capture an angle from up high. It's me and my husband traveling, I use it to make it look like someone is taking a video for us. So I definitely think it's worth the money. I know they're not cheap, so don't just run out and buy one. Definitely do some research first, but I love this and I think it has really elevated my content. As far as tripods go, I do use just like a standard one. This is an Oben. I use this most often. I can actually unscrew one of the legs and turn it into a monopod, which is nice. So this is probably my first choice. Currently the camera is sitting on a flexible tripod, so it's much shorter. It doesn't extend tall enough to stand, but it can basically like twist and wrap around things. So if I'm traveling and all I can see is like a railing, I can basically twist the tripod around it to cling on. So it's still pretty useful. And my honorable mention gear, I have a few Moment lenses, which if you haven't heard of these are basically lenses that you can attach to your phone. So I have a special Moment case right now, and you basically take it and you just twist it on. Looks like this, super small, super lightweight. So the one I use most often is a wide angle lens, which basically is kind of like if you take your phone and you film in 0.5 instead of 1, you know how you get a wider angle? This does that without compressing the quality. Let me see if I can show you this. So this is what it looks like. I'm using the lens right now. Here is what it looks like when I'm not using the lens. As you can see, it just gives you a much wider frame, and so you're able to capture more in your video. If you don't want to invest in a mirrorless or a DSLR, like, I think this is a great alternative. A lens like this will run you a few $100 to a few $1,000. A lens like this will run you about 100, 150, so it's a much better deal, and honestly, the quality of the glass itself is pretty good. Back when I was filming wedding videography, I did use a lot of boom mics and external mics, clip-on mics, but I have found that just talking straight to my camera, the quality is pretty good. If I was filming something from way away, then of course I would be using a clip-on mic so that I could sync the audio later, but I don't really feel like that's necessary. Most people are not going to be filming like that. If you are interested in the gear that I showed you, I'll link it all below so that you can go explore. But again, don't feel like you need to go out and spend thousands of dollars on gear. You can accomplish most things with just your phone, so I would highly suggest starting there and then seeing what it is you want to add on.